of a man. Over his 83 years, George Meyers was bestowed many accolades and achieved too many awards to count. But to thousands, the iconic Jamaican-born businessman was a mentor and friend, one whose impact to the local tourism industry cannot be overstated. As fondly recalled during a memorial this morning, celebrating his larger-than-life life. The notes of jazz legend Louis Armstrong's I Did It My Way floats through Christ Church Cathedral on George Street. A candle lit just ahead of a packed congregation of policymakers, senior government officials, the diplomatic corps, tourism giants, and relatives belting out the 19th century Swedish poem, How Great Thou Art. The official start of a celebration of life for George R. Meyers, M.B. 2 letters representing one of the country's highest awards. A well-deserved honor for an incredible man, but as his nieces and nephew recall, there were 2 other letters that reflect another proud and important role in Meyers' life, and in turn, his family's. George R. Meyers, UG, Uncle George, that is, a relationship that took on even greater meaning following the passing of his brother over 30 years ago.
Our overly spoiling, short-tempered, fun-loving, hard-working, know-it-all, stern but adoring uncle became even more to us. More of a protector, more of our teacher, our father figure, our greatest fan, our mentor, our biggest supporter, and most of all, our friend.
Dedicated to his career, committed to passion, Meyers' niece, Tina Meyers-Metallan, says right now her uncle is probably compiling a board or association to develop luxury resorts, premium airlift, and restaurants in no time.
If you've had the pleasure of knowing him, then you have been blessed. If you've had the honor of being yelled at by him, then you have learned a thing or two. And if you've had the strength to take it, then you have grown.
In a witty tribute, former Tourism Director General Vincent Vanderpool Wallace jokingly shared that Meyers was not only his mentor, but his eternal tormentor, who had a penchant for giving him impossible tasks.
I made the mistake decades ago telling him I hated the name Vinny. Well, that made me Vinny forever. So I learned to like it. It was his assistant, my fellow tormented Sonia Dames, who told me from the beginning that George only raised his voice with people he believed had much to offer, and that was his way of continuing to challenge them. Now you understand why we all stood there with smiles on our faces whenever he was yelling at something we had done or failed to do. That meant we mattered.
Successive governments can attest to his sage advice. The Bahamas loved George, George loved the Bahamas, and the two benefited as fondly recalled by former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Hubert Ingraham, and the present Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis.
There are a few major developments in the hospitality sector in the Bahamas that have not benefited from George's insight and guidance. Evidence our friendship, our meetings, and his sage advice. I pray happy memories of George will be a consolation to his family, friends, and associates.
The significant and consequential qualities of George Meyers were all intangible, incorruptible, and intergenerational in nature. They were all keys to success in life and in business, both as an employee and as an employer. And best of all, they were offered free of charge. I therefore commend these life lessons to all gathered here today.
George R. Meyers, 83.